Well, hello everybody. I'm in a rental property of ours, and the complaint is there's no hot water. I came by yesterday, not very well equipped, to kind of look at it. The pilot light will light. It stays lit, so that would indicate that the thermocouple is just fine. But either partially the way through a cycle or at the end of the cycle, the pilot light will go out, and they're only getting lukewarm water. This should just be a simple cleaning job, and I'm going to go ahead and go through it. This is a Power Miser 9. It's been in here since '07. Worked fine up until a couple days ago. It's just dirty, I believe, so we'll get into it. This is just general information. It's not advice. So we're going to see if we can get this going. Alright, well this is back in a dark closet, so maybe you can see all the dust and the cobwebs down underneath. There's actually a pre-filter. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There's a black filter right there in the front. That's the first thing I'm going to attack. Try to clean this pan out the best I can. I'm going to pull the burner assembly out, clean inside there. And then there's a spark arrestor in there somewhere. I'm going to blow down from the inside with compressed air while using my shop vac to try to collect as much of that dust that comes out of this so I don't blow it all over the house. So the first thing I'll do is shut off the gas, and then I'll disconnect the pilot tube, disconnect the burner tube, disconnect the thermocouple, and then disconnect the igniter. A couple of nuts right here, and that whole assembly should come out. Alright, well, I've got the burner assembly out, just a little bit of rust on top. I'll make sure I get that cleaned up real good. I'm going to take my shop vac and get as much of this cobweb and stuff off from within there, and then I'll pull that filter, that pre-filter, that black plastic down in there. It's very difficult. I'm in a dark spot. I don't even know if I can see it right there. And then I'll go in the tank with my shop vac and clean out all this debris. And I'm trying to get a shot right there in the center. Do you see that white disc that would be below the burner? That's the spark arrestor on this type of tank. Once I get this cleaned out, I'm not going to suck in that area where that spark arrestor is. I'm going to take compressed air and blow down from the inside out while keeping my shop vac on the outside to try to collect as much dust as possible. And then I'll continue on with my inspection, and then we'll test it out. Alright, well here's the pre-filter. Pulled it out and sucked it up. The holes in here are so huge. The only thing it would really stop, in my opinion, are like rocks. It wasn't really that bad. I've got my light tucked under here. It's sitting in a tank, so it's hard to see, but I'm going to shoot down in this mirror and see if I can show you that ceramic spark arrestor. It's difficult for me to see, but yeah, maybe you can see it right there. It appears to be better than 50% matted over from my vantage point. So this is the stage where I will go in there with compressed air blowing down through the filter so I don't clog it up by trying to vacuum it out. And then use my shop vac out here to collect that dust. And then I'll take another visual inspection of it. I'm pretty sure this is just starving for air. I've got fresh air intake in this closet. I've got combustion air right here. There's a furnace, so it's never been a problem with it starving for air. I also need to check that flue to make sure it's drawing properly. Let me do that right now. I didn't bring matches, but I do have a lighter. Let's see if we can get a draw in here. Okay, you see how it's pulling the flame in? So it's definitely drawing air, so that should not be obstructed. Alright, let me continue cleaning. I'll show the setup for that, what I'm doing, and we'll move on. Alright, well I don't have a tripod with me, so I'm just going to have to describe what I'm doing here. There's the hose end I'm using here. I'm just going to set it right there, turn on the shop vac, and then on this air chuck, I've just simply got a piece of clear hose on it. I'll squeeze that with one hand. I'll put a little bend in it, go in there, and blow down through that filter with the shop vac on, and then collect anything that's blown out underneath. Alright, well I've got it clean now. It is sparkling clean. I'm trying to manipulate the camera a little to see if you can see it. I can't tell if it's picking up. Once I went through with the compressed air and got the majority of it, I actually went in with one of these dryer lint brushes and kind of just shaped it to what I needed to get in there and clean the rest of it off. So it does look really good now. Try to get a shot in the burner cavity from the top. Looks like I've got a couple of things just sitting on the top that got in there, so I'll suck those out with the vacuum now. And the only other thing that I did was I put my light in, pointing straight down through that filter, and looked in the mirror, and I could see the beam moving all over, so it's definitely free and open now. Alright, well here's a thermal switch right here. This is in line with the thermocouple. So in the event the burner cavity gets too warm for whatever reason, the combustion area, it'll open this and it will kill the gas to the unit. Alright, well I've got the burner assembly reinstalled as well as put the plastic pre-filter on there. Go ahead and see if we can light this up. Pilot. Try to do this one-handed. I'm going to try to put my camera down here and see if I can see that through the viewfinder without having to lay on the floor. Yeah, oh, there it is. Okay. Still holding the button down for maybe 10-15 seconds. Make sure that this thermocouple stays on. Alright, I've released the button. Go to gas on. And let me turn it up, see if it lights. There it goes. Alright, well I lit it up, had the cover on it, had the door shut so it'd be in its natural state. It just cycled off, pulled the cover, see. We've still got a pilot light, that's a good sign. I'm going to turn the hot water on, make sure it lights up, let it cycle off, and it should be good. Alright, well I've got the water running in the bathroom. It is nice and hot. I don't know how long this is going to take to require more, so I may chop the video until right before it lights up, but I'll just leave the camera running right here for now. Well, that's promising. It lit up just like it's supposed to. I'm going to buckle it up, let it recover, and call this one complete. Alright, well it just recovered. Go ahead and make sure the pilot's still burning. And there it is. This is wrapped up now. I'd mentioned that little disc in there, that thermal switch. If the burner cavity gets too hot, it'll open up that switch. The thermocouple will not allow the valve to stay open anymore, and it will shut the gas valve down. I really, on second thought, don't think that's what was happening here. This thing was starving for air. With that arrestor, flame arrestor being almost all the way plugged, it was consuming all the oxygen and basically snuffing out the flame or reducing the flame on the thermocouple, and that in turn was shutting the gas valve off. As it stands right now, it's working fine. This is not a how-to video. You know, I highly recommend, if you don't know what you're doing, to seek professional help. But if it's just a matter of cleaning the screen under the bottom, that's just general maintenance. Just something to consider to try to get your tank going again. Probably works on different models. They may have a different type of flame arrestor in them than this one. But rather than throwing burner parts at it, valve parts, whatnot, still having the same problem, start with cleaning maintenance. Hope this helps someone in some way. Thanks for watching, guys, and good luck.